So, Google's just dropped this new AI tool that claims it can learn your entire brand and start spitting out marketing content in literally just a few minutes. It's called Pomelli, and it's built specifically for small businesses. So today we're going to break it all down. What is it? How does it work? And is it actually a real threat to something like Canva? And maybe more importantly, is this the beginning of a future where AI does all the boring stuff, leaving us to do the fun, creative work?
Okay, let's be real. If you're a solopreneur or you run a small business, this question, it probably hits a little too close to home. You know you need to be constantly putting out quality content. But man, the time it takes, it can be absolutely overwhelming. I mean, you're trying to run a business here, not become a full-time graphic designer, right?
And that feeling, that's exactly what you could call the marketing content trap. It's this endless loop of needing professional-looking content, but just getting completely bogged down every time you try to make it.
Yeah, and this creates a huge gap, right? You need to look just as polished as the big guys, but you don't have a whole team of designers or a massive agency budget. Well, this is the very problem that Google is trying to tackle with this new experiment.
And that's where Pomelli comes in. They're pitching it as a 3-minute brand AI. Basically, it's designed to be your new marketing sidekick, promising to get you from zero to on-brand content faster than you can brew a cup of coffee. So, how on earth does it actually do that?
Okay, the secret sauce here is something Google is calling business DNA. And this is pretty cool. Forget about manually uploading your logos or trying to find the right hex codes. Pomelli's superpower is that it scans your website and automatically pulls out your entire brand identity. We're talking colors, fonts, even your tone of voice. All of it.
In the process itself, it's ridiculously simple. Step 1, you just plug in your website's URL. The AI does its thing and builds that business DNA we just talked about. Step 2, it'll actually suggest campaign ideas for you, or you can give it your own prompt. And then, step 3, in about 60 seconds, boom, it generates a bunch of different design options, all ready to go.
And this really shows you the key difference between Pomelli and, say, a competitor like Canva. With Canva, you have to manually build your brand kit, piece by painful piece. Pomelli does all that heavy lifting for you automatically, just from your URL. It's a total shift from manual setup to instant AI magic.
But the big question is, does all this automation actually save you a meaningful amount of time? Well, the first numbers are in, and honestly, they're pretty compelling. Let's check out a head-to-head speed test. So get this. In a test to create 10 different social media projects, Pomelli finished the job in 100 minutes. To do the exact same tasks in Canva, it took 318 minutes. That's more than 3 times longer. For a small business owner saving over 3 hours on just one batch of content, that is a huge, huge win.
So if we zoom out a bit, you can really see where Pomelli fits in the landscape. It's built for non-designers, people who just need speed more than anything else. Canva, on the other hand, gives you more templates and control, and it's for a more general audience. And then you have Adobe Express, which is aimed at people who want those pro-level features. You can see that speed advantage is pretty consistent, but also notice that big no next to video support. And that's a little hint at some of Pomelli's current weaknesses.
Okay, but it's not all sunshine and speed. We've got to be honest here. Since this is an experimental product from Google Labs, it comes with some pretty serious limitations, and for some people, these could be total deal breakers. So let's get into the frustrating stuff.
All right, here are the top 5 frustrations that reviewers keep bringing up. First, you're stuck with just one brand per account. Second, you have almost zero creative control to fine-tune things. Third, there are no integrations for scheduling your posts. Fourth, like we saw, absolutely no video support. And finally, the AI can sometimes just spit out really generic, kind of cookie-cutter stuff.
And that first point, the single brand limit, that's a big one. Reviewers are calling it a massive limitation. Just think about it. If you're a freelancer or you run a small agency with multiple clients, you would literally have to create a separate Google account for every single brand. What a nightmare. That's a huge headache.
And there's another really crucial catch here. The quality of what Pomelli gives you is directly tied to the quality of your website. You know the old saying, garbage in, garbage out? Well, it's true here. If your site has a weak or messy brand identity, the AI is just going to give you weak, messy designs back. It's a mirror, not a magic wand.
So, okay, with all of these pros and cons, how should we actually think about this tool? Well, the consensus that's starting to form is to see it not as a replacement for your other tools, but as an 80% automation tool.
Yeah, the number you really want to keep in your head here is 80%.
The idea is that Pomelli automates about 80% of all that repetitive, boring work that goes into making marketing graphics. It just handles the grunt work, which frees you up for that final 20%. The important stuff, the human touch, the strategy, the real creativity.
And that really helps clarify who this tool is perfect for right now. It's a fantastic fit for solopreneurs, small businesses, startups, anyone who needs consistent content fast. But it is definitely not for agencies that are juggling a bunch of clients, and it's not for professional designers who need that pixel-perfect control over their work.
So, what's the final verdict here? Think of Pomelli as a super powerful first draft machine. You use it to quickly generate a whole bunch of on-brand ideas and assets. But then you should probably expect to take those into a tool like Canva to polish them up before you publish. And hey, remember, it's free for now, but it is an experiment, so who knows what its future holds.
And all of this really brings us back to that bigger question we started with, right? Pomelli is one of the first tools to really nail this idea of automating the grunt work of creative marketing. So, is this the future? Are we heading towards a world where AI handles the boring 80%, leaving us humans to focus only on the most strategic, most creative 20%? Now that's the big idea to chew on.